Alright, this is Eric with Music Connoisseur Facebook page, Aspiring Music Writer on YouTube, my YouTube channel. So tonight, I'm going to get back into doing some stuff. I am drinking some not hard apple, but apple whiskey, Evan Williams apple whiskey and Coke. And today, I'm making a video about American Aquarium's first cover album, Flappers, Bangers, and Certified Twangers. It is a 10-song album of 90s music that they grew up on. At first, I will tell you this straight up, I thought this was going to be one piece of shit, just because, you know, when you get like an artist or a band to do a covers album, almost 90% of the time, I don't like it. So, but I was really impressed. Kudos to BJ Barham, Neil, the steel guitar, and everybody else. Player and everybody else. I was really surprised. It's kind of like also when Axl Rose took over AC/DC frontman's spot. I was like, that's going to be horrible, because Axl Rose and AC/DC to me are two completely opposite types of rock. But it worked out, and this is one badass album. Like I said, I was really surprised by it. It's actually one of my favorite covers album. Excuse me, another drink of whiskey. But like I said, American Aquarium, I guess I could consider them red dirt, but they're from North Carolina. I call them what they call the outsiders. Them, Mickey and the Motor Cars, and Reckless Kelly, although they are located in Texas, they're actually from Idaho. Pino Bennett and all them. Todd Snyder is from Oregon, but I think, I consider him a red dirt outsider, or whatever you want to call it. There's one other person I was thinking of, and it went right over my head. Chris Knight, that's who it was. Chris Knight's a Kentucky native from Slaughters, Kentucky, but he is praised a lot and plays a lot in Texas. I've seen him 3 or 4 times. I'd love to write with him. If you don't know who I am, subscribe to Aspiring Music Writer on YouTube. I do album reviews, concert reviews on my Facebook, but you can find that on Eric Stone / Music Connoisseur. I take still shots. I do live videos. I do comedy. I'm going to do a comedy video here in a little bit. I hadn't gone out and actually done any comedy, but we're kind of getting off sidetrack here. But I mean, that's what I grew up was the 90s. Joe Diffie, Toby Keith, Mark Chestnut, Billy Ray Cyrus, Trisha Yearwood, the Dixie Chicks. It goes on and on and on. Shenandoah, that might have been 80s, I don't know. Jody Messina, Tim McGraw, all of them, and it was still pretty cool, because it hadn't gotten too bad just yet. And a lot of the ones that American Aquarium covered were actually older ones, and it's volume 1, so hopefully, dear God, they come out with another volume, I'd like to see about 5 of these things where they do different genres, and some of them I actually did not like before I listened to this album. Like I said, it was a 10-track CD album cassette tape. Those are coming back, cassette tape. I'm sure they got vinyl. I think I'm going to try to go see them up at George's Majestic Lounge in a few months. This is my cheat sheet. Like I said, American Aquarium is a very awesome band, different style. I consider them like roots country. Excuse me, roots country. They're not really honky tonk, but they're not really rock either. They're in between. But anyways, let's get started on it. Slappers, Bangers, and Certified Twangers kicks off with Sammy Kershaw's Queen of My Double Wide. And honestly, I did not like this song from the get-go. When I heard Sammy Kershaw sing it, I thought it was really lame. But for some reason, it's like when you put a different artist singing it, you really like it. And I like it now. I love it, actually. But I did not like it years ago. Of course, I'm not that big fan of Sammy Kershaw either. But that's just my opinion, So, but it was written by, it was on his second album, Haunted Heart, and it was written by Dennis Linde, Linde. I don't know if I'm saying that right. If you know, let me know in the comments. The second song is Some Girls Do. That's a badass song. Great sing-along by Sawyer Brown. It was actually on his 8th studio album, which I didn't think they had that many albums, honestly. But on their 8th, it was The Dirt Road. It was written by Mark Miller. And I said, just great sing-along song. Just got that 90s. Before, during the pandemic, coronavirus, whatever you want to call it, it was so cool because BJ Barham started doing songs from the 90s, and I thought it was really awesome. He did a lot. He did, Toby Keith, and I didn't listen all the time though, but like I said, it was cool because he, kind of took the story behind it, And what I love about BJ is he put on Facebook or American Aquarium is, people, he said a lot of artists like to claim that Towns Van Zandt and Steve Earle and, people that age, that's what got them into music. And they say they really don't say that 90s music, country music got into them, And it was more the songwriters like Guy Clark and Steve Earle and, Towns Van Zandt, he said, but I listened to the hell out of those 90s stuff. But the third track, and I was surprised they did this, and he did a great job. I tried to think about Elvis, which was a Patti Loveless song. It was on her 5th studio album in '94, When Fallen Angels Fly. And it was written by Gary Burr. Great song, great, like I said, sing-along. A lot of these are sing-alongs where you can just sing along and dance to. The 4th one was She's in Love with the Boy, Trisha Yearwood, which is one of my favorite 90s songs. Along with, Should Have Been a Cowboy. Everybody from the 90s knows that song. It was actually the most played song of the 90s, Toby Keith. But we'll talk about more of that in a little bit. But it was written by John Imes. And let me know what y'all want to hear. I love the songwriters and knowing that. I don't know if y'all do, if y'all want to hear more, just weird facts and stuff like that, because I don't know. I'm just trying to build up my channel. But the middle of the track, one of my favorite Joe Diffie songs, John Deere Green. And one thing is too that at first, before this album came out, Slappers, Bangers, and Certified Twangers, is, it's either these artists, and I'm not down on any certain one, but it seems that they either make it their own, which is awesome, or they just copy it and it just is a watered down version of what the artist did, and American Aquarium did not do that. But anyway, John Deere Green, it was also written by Dennis Lind, which wrote Queen of My Double Wide. But great, sing-along song, like I said. Then on the 6th album, Wild One, Faith Hill, she married Tim McGraw. She's been married to Tim McGraw for many, many years. And I consider her more on the pop side, but, she was a big staple in the 90s. It's on her 93 debut album, Take Me As I Am. And I think also on another album, I don't know if it was the same album, that she did Piece of My Heart, which I think Janis Joplin did years before. Don't quote me on that, but go look it up if you want to. That was written by Jamie Kyle, Pat Bunch, and William Rambux. I think that's how you say his name. Rambeaux. But like I said, massive voice, great 90s deal. Lost and Found, Brooks and Dunn. I was hoping, though, it would have been Neon Moon. That is like my favorite. I love Lost and Found too. But there's just something that Neon Moon is one of them just bar songs that you want to hear. When you go to a bar, it's just got that feel, those lyrics. But Lost and Found's also badass. I said I love some Brooks and Dunn. It was written by, it's on their debut album, 1991. Written by Brooks, Kix Brooks, and Cook, whoever that is. But Kix Brooks wrote it, or co-wrote it. Then Down at the Twist and Shout, which is a fun Louisiana flavored song by Mary Chapin Carpenter. I never got a lot into her, but she had some good stuff. It was off her second album, Shooting Straight in the Dark, and I don't think I could find out who wrote that. I looked at it, because I looked up all these, Heads Carolina, Tails California, which was like a big hit back in 96? I can't remember if it's 95 or 96. I loved her voice. I still do. Jody Messina, great song or singer. I don't know if she wrote her song. I really don't know. But that was written by, I think, Gary Nichols and Mark D. Sanders. And then last but not least, let's get drinking some more whiskey. This should have been a Cowboy, Toby Keith, before he got too politically, which I think this is what American Aquarium frontman B.J. Barham said. There's a point, where, and he did it really great when he did the introduction to before he said he should have been a Cowboy is. There's like post Toby Keith and then pre. Or not post, but like and he got I wouldn't say too patriotic, but too commercial. Now he'll come out with like songs that just are stupid, and Red Solo Cup that are just so stupid. And they're alright, I guess. But I want a story, should have been a Cowboy back in the 90s. Was like something you never heard, on the radio at that time. No one was talking about Cowboys and, Gene Autry and Roy Rogers and Matt Dillon and Kitty and, it took you back in time, and it was just so different from what anybody else was, writing about back, and then he got too commercial, hopefully, but one thing I will say about Toby Keith, though, is as commercial as he does get, he's still got 3 or 4 badass songs on every album. And you can't expect every one of them to be a slapper, a banger, and a certified twanger. As in what, you can't. Every song's not going to be, you got some songs are meant just for, to sing along and don't really mean nothing. But, I just like story songs. And, that was a badass story song, And, should have been a cowboy. Should have learned to rope and ride. I mean, just takes you back to the old days, And, but that's about it. Like I said, I think, if I'm not, I know they got Lamentations, which is a year old now, American Aquarium. I mean, if you ever heard of American Aquarium, look them up. They are badass. BJ is so nice. I've met him one time at Gillies in Pecola, Oklahoma. He signed my guitar. I got about 10 guitars that I got signed by different artists. Kentucky Headhunters, Brownhead Welch from Korn, Randy Rogers, Cody Canada, Jenna Paulette. I'm going to do a Just Yakking, which I'll upload on here too. And, look out for that. That will be probably not tomorrow, but the next day. Tomorrow I'm going to upload this video and then my comedy video. So y'all check it out. Erica, the aspiring music writer. Check it out. Thank y'all.